God damn it, that bread's lovely. This is out today, but not only that, you're right in the middle of, well, I won't say the middle, it's going to be happening tomorrow. It's going to open up the bakery.
Opening a bakery, which is really exciting, a sourdough bakery, using all organic flour. Should be really, really exciting. We're going to start with bread tomorrow morning, so that's Friday the 10th.
It's been quite a rush to get it open. Oven has just been commissioned now, so we put our first bake on about an hour, so it's very exciting.
So was this something that had been brewing for months, or did it sort of come to you on this break? Did you sort of think, well, what can we use this opportunity to do?
It had been an idea which we had, but we needed some impetus to make it happen, and I guess this was bang straight away. I know what we're gonna do. So
and plus, I kind of fallen in love with sourdough about 4 years ago and been baking it at home, I guess, for about 4 years now. So it really kind of got it down and really had aspirations of more connecting with different varieties of wheat and different ways in which it's milled and different ways in which you can make traditional bread where it's flour, water, salt. It tastes fabulous. And just back to that, breaking bread with people, and just there's something really honest and humble and connected about it all.
I guess even the analogy of through the whole lockdown and the corona, like bread was, people got back to basics, like baking their own bread. So I think it's really it epitomizes home and connection, all these sort of things. So it felt like,
and what we're going to use,
it happened.
One of the flours we're going to use is from an Irish grower of wheat called Oak Forest Mills. They kind of grow heirloom varieties, so old varieties of wheat pre-industrial revolution, so from like einkorn to emmer, spelt, naked barley.
Are you making these words up, or no? They're real.
No,
they're
real words.
Okay.
But it's all organic Irish wheat, which is really exciting.
There'll be some UK wheat too.
Yeah.
Now, was that something that took a lot of research? I mean, I think you guys are probably already familiar with a lot of this. It wasn't like, oh, we have to figure out how does bread work. I'm sure this was already part of your world in a big way.
Yeah, it's very much been part of our world.
It's been a passion for a long while.
Steve's fell down the rabbit hole very much so the last 4 years, and has failed his way to being able to perfect the perfect loaf.
And even like, I guess with coffee, similarly, we roast our own coffee. It was the same way, I guess. You're always looking to learn more, and I kind of get caught with the romance and the craft, and it was the same way I kind of got interested in coffee. We started moving into specialty coffees, and how can we roast and really pursue the maximum flavour we can out of a coffee bean? So we've been roasting for a few years, and similarly with bread, we've been buying in good quality organic bread, but it's like, how can we make it ourselves and put our own little bit of personality or extra dimension to it?
And that is the question, like, when it comes to making it yours and sort of making that effort to figure out every step of the way is going to be something you thought about and figured out. I mean, did that take a while? Was it sort of there in this?
It will take.
All right.
It's a journey. I think
because when you're baking one loaf for yourself at home, it's very different to baking 300 loaves and working the maths
and even mixing the dough for this. It was like, say I'd be used to maybe mixing a kilo of flour, maybe 250 grams of levain. Here we were with 2.5 kilos, 10 kilos of flour, and suddenly you're like, wow, it's like the dough is the size of this table.
And how much you cut it and all the various different things.
Because it is, I think that you were saying that the system downstairs could take about 48 loaves at a time.
48 loaves, yeah. So we've got a four deck, 2 tray oven that's with a steam injector and proofer underneath.
Right.
So it's pretty exciting.
I noticed this now a few days ago, just the Chambers guys from Dublin, they're the ones who are fitting it, and I didn't realise the scale of I just, for some reason, whatever, just I'll be a guy in a van with an oven in the back and he'd sort of
plug it in and away.
Yeah, there you go.
So did we.
But now it's required a lot more electricity as well. I think it consumes probably the same electricity as 3 houses.
Wow.
Just putting it on, it's a huge kind of draw of power. We've had to double our power for the full building, so.
And I suppose bakery is something that, people of a certain age like myself would remember Tino's and all that. The idea there's a real bakery in the town, it just seems odd that there hasn't been for a while. That obviously people go up to the firehouse or they jump around, or some of the supermarkets have taken on the task of putting out bread, but the idea of a real dedicated little bakery thing.
Yeah, I think part of our mission was always about trying to get people to eat more veg, but we want to start a farm and connect ourselves and the greater community to where our food comes from. And one of the aspirations will be, in time, will be to grow our own wheat, to mill it down here, to make flour. So it's this full cycle, like a veg we're growing within this area we're eating.
Where it's very much local again. Your food is grown locally, and
you know who grew your food.
I was going to say now, I was thinking about the growth of the Happy Pear, and obviously it's been tremendous, and a lot of people are connected to it. And I'm also, just by coincidence, reading a new Beatles book, 1, 2, 3, 4 by Craig Brown, and just that job or worry they had as they realized that they had the ability to pretty much do anything they wanted to do, and they should expand, and they open up a boutique and a record label and all that. mean, that you realise how difficult that is really sometimes to sort of make the right decisions, because you are in a position where you can make a choice, like let's put a bakery in here, and yet at the same time, you know, a lot of people are going to be connected to that, and it's going to be important that it works and all that. Does all that sort of flow easily, or do you have kind of difficult moments of making these decisions?
No, I think it flows very easy.
It flows really easy, but like anyone, you have your challenging moments. I think it's part of life,
but I think it's more that there's so many options that you can spend your time in, and I guess we've been at this 15 years that there is lots of options, and we've been allured by let's open all sorts of different things, but I guess through the last few months we've realised the importance of doing less and doing it better.
Right.
And I guess this is why really we've spent the last period of time really doing up our main place which we started in, and we really want to turn this into
make it great again.
Boom! There you go.
Feels like coming home. In a
Make
sense,
America proud again. Don't vote for.
I didn't say that.
Now we should say with the book itself too. Obviously, this has been a great run of success. Is that something that you? I don't know whether that takes an awful lot of planning, because you do have to sort of think, okay, we've given them a lot of recipes and they're very successful. Where do we go from here? Is it organic? Does it just sort of come to you that we should really concentrate on this area?
Well, this one was almost like we were trying to, as if we were going to write a book to leave to our kids to teach them how to cook. Like that was the kind of premise in it. So we've made it away from recipes and made it more about teaching people how to cook. Where they can interchange ingredients and cook with what they have in the press.
So you're sort of saying the kids don't need to bother with the other books, just this one really.
Well, no, if they buy the others, that'd be great.
All right.
You need to bread the other. No,
so the whole idea of this one is that it came out of, we've a whole lot of online courses, and we built our Ultimate Vegan Cooking course, which over 10,000 people have done, and that I guess they've really trodden the path and kind of tested it for us, and this book is the distillation of that. So it's kind of to teach people how to cook without recipes.
Right. Okay.
So it's very different. You'll see it's frameworks and.
Yeah.
It's different. That's the way the recipes
are the recipes.
Okay, nice.
So it's like this type of, you're teaching people how.
And when it comes to, you know, we'll say, for want of a better term, the Happy Pear image and all that, is that something that you know, you kind of think, okay, let's, you know, I don't know whether you have to think how many pictures do we put in of us looking particularly healthy, or I don't know, are these decisions that have to be made?
You do with a publisher. So like we've done all our books with Penguin, so they're in charge of the photos, the design, and
they kind of wanted this one to be a little different. Us not on the cover, where it's very much food centric. It's not lifestyle. There's not one topless shot of it. There's not one of us doing handstands. It's literally the food. This book is about the food.
Yeah,
we have been chefs for 15 years, and we've often hidden behind handstands and other things. So this is to be different in that way.
Now, I suppose it must be the first time since you began that there was a cobweb on a Happy Pear till. So this idea that was that something that kind of, I don't know, gave you time to reflect? I think everybody has sort of given themselves that little bit of an opportunity to think about, am I doing this right? Should I fix that shelf? Did that sort of enter into it? Because you guys seem to be already sort of having thought through an awful lot of what you do. I don't know whether you had any reflections.
Yeah, definitely. It gave us the time to kind of realise what's important and where do we want to spend our time. Like completely, we've, just like most people, it's been a great chance to take stock and kind of go, right, I really enjoy this kind of slower pace. How can we get more of it? I really enjoy less travel. I enjoy spending more time with the kids. I enjoy being able to walk everywhere. So let's consciously try to do less and do it better. And unfortunately, we had to close Clondalkin, and there's been other decisions where we've kind of gone, okay, this makes more sense. Let's focus on certain things and just do them better.
And you strike me as people who would have a fairly good sort of long-term feeling of these are good decisions and they're going to work for us for years to come. It's not just, this will be a hit this week or this year. I mean, does that give you the sense of where you might sort of be? I don't know whether you do kind of make plans for 5-10 years.
I think you hit the nail on the head there when you said a feeling.
All right.
Because, obviously other people in our team are more structured and strategic, and they'll want to pin down business plans and 5-year plans. Whereas for us, it's very much, it'll start probably with a feeling and a sense of things, and then from that we'll make the decisions and try to distill it down into, we'll have a longer term vision and then a kind of 6 month
But
plan.
definitely a few things we want to focus on is a farm within the Greystones area,
right,
where we're growing our produce for the vegetable shop and for the cafe here. And it's
you,
one that
you do have a farm already, or is this something
we have
separate?
a farm where it's growing microgreens and it's wheat grasses, pea shoots, but this will be more where we're growing carrots, we're growing turnips, we're growing sweets, we're growing potatoes, we're growing different
and it can be
varieties.
relevant to the local community where school kids can come up and see it, and the community can be part of it.
People are connected to it. That's the whole
Do you have
idea.
the land, or are you looking at that?
Looking for the land.
So if there's anyone watching that has land and wants to join forces,
we're looking for about 2 acres.
Land around here is very cheap. It's very cheap. Now's the time to buy.
Lots of
It's not even buying, it's just getting started. Like I
Right.
think this bit will be a not-for-profit. Like it's really focused on making local food and trying to feed as many local people. And that's
So we should say tomorrow, well, the 10th now, you're sort of stepping back into the ring, and it's going to be, like you're back in action, but it's going to be it's sort of step by step, because the bakery is the thing now, and there'll be a certain menu available through the bakery, and then other things the bigger kitchen would say the older menu will come into play. I don't know how soon you'd expect the whole thing to be, back to that.
We want to start small and make sure what we're doing it as best we can, and that it's it's efficient. So we're going to just start here with the bakery and the vegetable shop, and then once that's going well and we're on top of it, and social distancing is all good in the next phase, then we'll probably bring the food truck in, and then after that we'll open the whole place up. But we're kind of happy just doing it slowly and
doing it a bit more prudent.
And I'm going to finish with a very deep question. You're happy, right? Because I would think that the life is good, and you seem healthy. You're pretty healthy from what I gather.
Life is very good.
But yeah, life's good then.
Very good.
You don't feel like singing or anything like that? No, if you don't feel like singing or like anything. No, I think we'll leave it at that.